What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're out in sunny London for a spot of street photography. Well, I'd like to be saying it was a sunny day for street photography, but no. We're back in London and you guessed it, it's rainy again. I can swear every time that I come to London for street photography, it is absolutely pelting it down. But saying that, rainy days make for some great shots, so I can't complain too much. Today I'm going to be shooting with the Fuji X-S10 as always, but I'm going to be using a selection of different lenses, a mix between the XC35 f2, the Viltrox 56mm f1.7 and also the 18 to 55mm Fuji kit lens. To kick things off, we're heading over towards Central Cinema. This is a must come to location if you're in London for a photo walk. It's just one of those locations that goes so well with street photography. After the initial shots that I got when I was inside, I just wanted to come outside and scope the location out a little bit more, just to see if there was any other opportunities outside, anything or any other ways that I can shoot this location that might be a little bit different than just pointing at a subject and shooting. So just having a quick wander around just to see what's about, see what vantage points are about and available before I decide on how I wanted to move on with this shoot. So here we are moving back outside to some of those initial framing opportunities that I was talking about before. Just trying to line the Central Cafe sign up inside of the railings. One idea I got was to try and use subjects crossing through the frame to block certain letters of the word cafe out as they were crossing through. So some of these worked out kind of nice, but I feel like the lens that I was using at the time, because I think I was using the 56mm, was a little bit tight for this location. It was kind of compressing the image a little bit too much for what I'd like. So I decided to head inside and change to something a little bit wider and then see what else I could capture in that area. After changing the lens over, I headed back outside to just try and capture a few more shots through those railings towards Central Cafe sign. I think the final shot that I got here with Central Cafe in the round part of the railings, I think it worked kind of nice. The perspective was maybe a little bit off, but I was struggling to balance the perspective of the sign versus the angle of the railings with it being low, and I was shooting up. So to try and line up the Central Cafe sign to the centre of the circle whilst also pointing up but making it look like it wasn't, Yeah, it was a little bit difficult with the perspective, but I still think it worked out quite nice. I've said this before and I'll probably say it again until I'm blue in the face, but this is one of those situations where I actually find it really helpful filming these POV videos, because watching them back, the amount of opportunities that you see that you may have missed just through being stuck in the motion and stuck in the zone of trying to catch a particular shot. Like the gentleman in front of me there walking through could have been so cool backlit by that central cinema sign, but through getting the shot that I completely missed it. And I am quite an observant person when I'm out doing street photography, but I do kind of get stuck into a rut of when I've got an idea and I'm trying to execute it. I kind of had the blinkers on and I don't see other opportunities that are happening around me. But in general, I am quite an observant person, and when I've been on photo walk with friends and whatnot, they're surprised at the kind of shots that I see. But once I've seen that shot, until I've got the shot, I kind of block everything else out and I'm kind of zoned in on that. And that is definitely something that I want to get better at moving forward, and it's trying to be a bit more mindful whilst taking some shots. I think these shots coming up are some of my favourites from the day, and like I say, rainy day photography and reflection shots just go so well together. So hey, I'm just getting a little bit low to the ground and trying to angle my camera on a wider lens towards the puddle just to kind of frame St. Paul's Cathedral in the puddle. And it takes a little bit of work, but once you've fandangled it a little bit, you can manage to get some really creative shots. And I think this is one thing that a lot of people miss, is when they're taking photos of something, often they take the photo of it, if that makes sense. They just take the photo of the subject, not looking for other creative ways to take that same photo. Because I could be taking this photo and just pointing my camera straight up towards the spire of St. Paul's Cathedral, but adding that creative element of using the puddle to frame the shot and capturing the same shot in a different but more creative way, in my opinion, often creates a better photo. I don't know if I'm 100% happy with the shots that I got here. I had a specific idea in mind. Like I was mentioning before, I kind of get these ideas in my head and I kind of try and execute them as best as possible. But I think, yeah, the shots here didn't turn out exactly as I wanted them to. They're all right, but yeah, there was something lacking in them. I don't know if it was the lighting, the focal length, the angle or what, but yeah, there was just something missing. Here, I'm going to just flash up a couple of images on screen because like an absolute plonker, I stopped recording on the POV cam instead of started recording. And these are some of my favourites from the day, and what I was trying to do was use the railings that you see me walking up towards now to frame St. Paul's and also the reflections on the shelter to the escalators below. And I was trying to create this kind of like mirror image, but with the framing each part in specific sections of the fencing. Do have the same idea shots happening in a night video that I'm going to post in a couple of weeks time, so if you want to see a bit more about what I was trying there, definitely check back in a couple of weeks when I've posted that video, because I've definitely got all the footage for that one. I think some of these shots coming up are my favourites from the day, and what I wanted to do was try and capture some interesting shots of the shard, but obviously I could just take a picture of the shard, but I wanted to try and create something a little bit more interesting, so trying to try different framing options through using the bridges and the stairs, but then layering my subject with the staircase and the shard to try and create multiple layers in the image to create something a little bit more interesting and more dynamic. So I'm just moving between some of the layers just to see if there's any other different compositions that I can find between each layer. And one thing that I liked on the lower level here was the bridge to the right and the staircase on the left and how they intersected towards the top. So here I'm just moving back to try and frame the shard between that two. So you've got the point of the shard coming up to be framed by that staircase and the bridge. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. It's been a bit of fun filming these POVs this year, and I hope to keep it up into the new year. So if you've got any suggestions of places you'd like me to go or anything you'd like me to try on these shoots, just let me know. And with all that said and done, I'll catch you in the next one.